Good evening, everyone. This is Cooking with Carol Diane again. I'm still out camping in the beautiful Rocky Mountains of Colorado, where I live. And tonight I thought I'd put together something kind of fun. This is our third day now camping, and we're a little tired. We're a little dirty. Everything that goes along with camping in the mountains, but boy, have we had fun. Took a nice long four-wheeler ride today with my puppy dogs and got to see all kinds of wildflowers, the aspen trees, these gorgeous pine trees. They must be, 80, 90 feet high. They're just huge up here. Saw some cows that the dogs decided to bark and make them do a stampede. That was kind of fun. But I'm back at camp now and I'm ready to cook some dinner, getting hungry. So what I'm going to make, keeping in with the theme of what I'm making, is some what I call good old Colorado Rocky Mountain cowboy pork and beans. Well, I'm calling it the Cowgirl pork and beans. This is the only cowboy hound I could find right now, so bear with me, okay? All right, so what you will need, I've got my little outdoor kitchen here, and what you're going to need is a little bit of fresh bacon. Now, I bought my bacon at Sam's Club, but you can buy whatever bacon you want. I am going to use my big cast iron skillet tonight in the open fire. And so just take some bacon, and you're going to need probably about, I don't know, I'm going to fill this whole pan with bacon. And I'm going to start to cook my bacon first. And once I get it all cooked, then I will take it off of the fire. And depending on how you like your bacon, I like mine just a little bit crispy. I really do. I'm going to be cutting up this bacon into tiny little squares once it is cooked, and once I pat it with a paper towel, to get the fat and grease off of it. And then I'll be cutting it all up. Once I have done that, then I'll jump to the next thing that I do. But I wanted to jump on and show you first of all. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 strips of bacon right now that I'm going to cook. And it really doesn't matter how you put it in your pan because it's going to cook up. And I'm going to take just a few more here. I was going to get up this morning and have bacon and eggs, and pancakes and the whole 9 yards, but we just couldn't make it up out of bed that early this morning. We were a little tired. Sat by the fire last night, roasted marshmallows again, and that was fun. Talked to some people that were from this area. And I just kind of went exploring today. The gal found, this other camp gal, found some wild peppermint. And I said, oh, I love peppermint. I've always liked peppermint tea. And I said, could you show me where that is? And so she was trying to find it again because she only found a little bit, but we didn't find very much, but they brought me a little baggie of it, so that's great. And it is stout peppermint, let me tell you, but it's wild peppermint, so it should be. It's going to be very, very good. Okay, so that is the first step. So now I'm going to walk over here like I did on my first video to my fire that I've got going. So come on over here and join me. So I'm going to let this cook now. And I do have, and let me grab it real fast. I've got a couple of different ones of these bacon presses. Now, you've seen them where they have the little pig on them. This one has the shape of a pig, and they're cast iron. And if you find these or you go get them or whatever, they're not that cheap anymore. So if you have one, hang on to it. I've been trying to save mine for my kids that like to go camping. And basically all this does is keeps the bacon from curling up. So however many you want to put on there. I have several of the square ones, but I just brought out the other one to show you that there are different sizes of them. Got my doggies out here tonight that they've been kind of cooped up in the RV for a little while, but it's so nice and still beautiful out here, and we've sure enjoyed ourselves. So anytime you go camping, you want something to make, this pork and beans is one of them. This is going to be kind of a whole meal. It's got quite a lot in it. So I'm going to let this cook, and then I'll be back in just a few minutes. Okay, this is step 2 to my video. I took out the bacon. It's sitting on a platter with paper towels to let the grease drain out of it. And I've taken 1 pound of just regular ground beef hamburger. You want to put that in your pan, and you want to get that all nice and cooked. Once it's cooked, then take it off the fire. If you feel like there's too much grease, go ahead and drain that grease. You don't want a whole lot of grease, which I'll drain mine pretty well. I really will. But I want to get this hamburger cooked very well. So that's kind of little part 2 of it. And now I'll go to the next step in just a second. Okay, I'm back here at the cook station. Now I have cooked the bacon, and I have put it on the paper plate, or the tray here, so with a paper towel to get all that grease. And basically all you want to do is take the bacon and just put it into tiny little pieces like this. Now that was quite a lot of bacon that I did use, which I'm not going to use all of this. And my recipe, it calls for quite a bit. I've got my little cheat sheet here because I haven't made this in quite a little while. And so on the bacon, let me see here, 1/4 cup. And I didn't bring out my 1/4 cup, but I will use the 1/2 cup here because we all like bacon. And you want it crunchy, you really do. You want this crunchy in here. So let's take a good 1/2 cup of the bacon. We'll save that out. And I'll set this over here aside here. I've got another table. Set that aside. If I can keep my husband from eating all of it. He likes to munch on the bacon. All right, here is my great big Dutch oven pot that I use all the time when I'm out camping. I'm either cooking my potato salad in this, or yes, I've done cobblers in here. It's just a great pan. This one, particular one, happens to have little legs on it, which is nice. And so all my ingredients are going to go in here to begin with. So we can just start putting them in. We're going to put in the bacon. Now I've cooked the hamburger. I don't want all of the hamburger. I want a good cup of the hamburger because there's only 2 people eating tonight, which I can save this other stuff for anything else. But right now I'm just going to be cooking this. Can you set that over there? I'll set it back on. Okay, so those are the 2 main ingredients right there. Now, because it's cowboy pork and beans, you have to have some pork and beans. I have 2 different ones. I have one that is, of course, the Bushes, the original, and I have a maple and cured bacon. Either one's going to work, but I usually start out with the original. And you are going to take a full can of that. Now, with the pork and beans, I don't drain the juice. I go ahead and leave. Should have brought my one from the house. It works a little better than this one. A lot better than this one, I think. Or I just don't have the strength. There we go. Yeah, I don't drain the pork and beans as far as this particular syrup. I go ahead and pour it all in here. Try to get the flies to stay away. But I am working outdoors. Okay, that's the pork and beans in there. And I'll see if I want the second one. I don't know just yet if I do. Set this over here. And we're going to take some onion and put in here. This is a yellow onion. But I like to use yellow onions. Get that fly out of here. I need my campfire smoke to be over in this direction. It's just not tonight. It's just not. And let's see, it didn't seem to bring a trash container here, so I'll just kind of set it in this, I guess. And you're going to need, of this onion, you're going to need, we're going to go ahead with a good half of it here. And you're just going to dice that up. Because that's going to go in here. Now, if you want to, which I almost did tonight, if you want to dice up your onion and these peppers and put them in with the hamburger and cook it, you certainly can. This is usually a meal that you would be cooking and having slow cook at the campsite. Now I'm going to take some peppers. Now I had these peppers from last night when I did my dinner, so I'm going to use them again. And I'm going to take some of the red, of course the green, and the yellow. Trash. Take out that middle piece of the veins where the seeds are. And we're going to dice this up and put this in here also. And I'll see how much I want here. Start with the red one. Still have my owie finger. I took the finger guard off of it from it getting cut and smashed so bad. It's doing a little better today. And then last night I cut my thumb making the potatoes and all the stuff. So it's just one little accident after the other with me on this camp trip, but we're still having a good time. When we took the four-wheelers out, we go a long ways. I don't know if we go 10 miles back up on the mountain. At the very top of this mountain, you can get some cell phone reception, and that's where I've been kind of sending my just daily pictures of camping and stuff of what I've been doing camping. But these videos, I'm gonna have to wait till I get back home because it take longer to download. So I hope you're all patient with me on that, but I knew a couple of you anyway, especially asked me, be sure and make a video when you go camping. Whatever you decide to cook, make a video of it. So here I am out here in the Rocky Mountains making a video. I never thought I would be doing that. Trust me, I never did. My puppy dogs have survived. Nothing has happened. They've gotten some bites from horse flies. We all have. But other than that, they have done really, really well. They love to swim in the little creek. And today, when they saw all of the cows, they kind of went crazy on that. They really did. Okay, and you stir that around. That's looking very, very colorful, isn't it? Okay, now we're going to add, I'm going to add 4 teaspoons. And I didn't bring that out either. That's because I don't like to measure. So I'm just going to pour in about that much of just regular mustard. And then I'm going to pour in a good, let's see, that's mustard and this is the ketchup. They want a good cup of ketchup. I'll try to measure that. I don't know if I want to add a whole cup. About half a cup of that. This one is just kind of however you want to make it. You know, just pour in the ingredients, get some by golly on it, and it'll come out. It's going to come out tasting really good. It really is. Okay, and then I want about 2 cups of molasses. I buy this molasses, always have. Always have Grandma's molasses. And again, we'll go ahead and And I'm not going to be precise on these measurements at all because, like I said, I'm kind of halving this recipe anyway for doing it for just 2 people rather than a large crowd. Let's stick that in there. The molasses. Then I'm going to add some brown sugar. A few little ingredients in this cowboy mixture, but oh boy. So a good, let's see, my recipe calls for about 3/4 of a cup. Just sprinkle some in there, you know? That's how I like to do it. Sprinkle it all in there. That. So we've got the mustard, the ketchup, the molasses. Now we're going to use some Worcestershire sauce. And again, about that much, which my recipe calls for 1 tablespoon. That was pretty close, I think. And they do call for vinegar. You're going to need the distilled vinegar, and this recipe calls for 1/4 of a cup on that, so I'll go sparingly on that. That's going to cut down on all that sweetness. Now here's where your variety of beans comes in, because this is pork and beans. It is. Stir that around. So we're going to take a can of kidney beans, the red kidney beans, that I am going to drain. Get you something, because I am going to drain the juice off of the red kidney beans. We don't want all of that syrup that comes packaged with preserving the beans. Take that off. We'll just let that go down in here. Can of that. A can of pinto beans, doesn't matter what brand. Drain them. Look at all that juice that comes out of a pinto bean can. We don't want that. If I was at home, I would be rinsing this with water. But again, I'm just out here camping, so it'll be all right. It'll all come out. Some butter beans. These are really good. The butter beans. You gotta like beans to like this recipe. You really do. These are a bigger bean. Put those in there. You've got to have some black beans, any brand. Cover up my meat over here. Keep the flies off of things. Again, drain all that juice off. I do have some water, but that's not the water I want. Shoot, I didn't have a little thing of, can't reach it, I don't think, of my water. There it is. I am going to rinse these just a little bit. They had quite a lot of juice to them. There we go. And last but not least is Great Northern beans. Like I said, any brand. Quite a lot of stuff going in this, huh? I think I will add my second of the pork and beans. Again, drain that juice. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cans of different variety of beans. Your hamburger, your bacon, molasses. Make it nice and sweet and good. Nice and sweet and good. think I'm going to add one more of the pork and beans here. Again, don't drain the juice from the pork and beans. You kind of want that flavor. You really do. I hope the next time you go camping, you make this recipe because it is very good. I think you'll like it. I really do think you'll like it. Stir it all around. Add your salt and pepper to taste. Add quite a bit of the pepper. Always some salt. Get all this out of the way. Show you here. It's a variety of beans, isn't it? Yeah. Now I'm going to take this, put my lid back on it. This is a big, big pot. Lordy, if I can do this. And put it back over here. Onto the fire it goes. And that's going to slow cook because my coals are down a little bit. I apologize for my dogs barking, but they just saw a little ground squirrel that they think they have to go after. Make sure your coals in the pan and in the bottom here are down to where they are coals. And just let it slow cook now until you're ready for dinner. And then I'll show what it looks like when I'm ready to eat it. But that is tonight's dinner of the Cowgirl pork and beans. From my outdoor kitchen again to yours. I'll catch you next time on Cooking with Carol Diane.